You live here. You work here. You go to the rec center here. You pay your taxes here. Your kids go to school here. They play at the park here. Your family gets medical care here. You've made a good home here. This is your community. And this is a story about how you can help make your community even better, simply by making the 10% shift. Every day, you spend money in your community, on your mortgage payments, your food, mid-morning coffee, diapers for the toddler, gas for the car. But if the money you spend is on non-local businesses and products, the money ends up flying out of your community, back to corporate offices, from Toronto to New York to Beijing and beyond. But think about what could happen if just a little bit of that money stayed right here at home, how much stronger your community could be. And this is what the 10% shift is all about. With the shift, you're thinking more carefully about how and where you spend your money. Instead of shopping at the big box or driving to a mega mall in a whole other town, the 10% shift asks you to think local first. Not for everything, and only if the deal works for you. But for 10% of your spending, challenge yourself to buy from a local business, local producer, or local service provider. By taking a local-first approach, every dollar we spend has more power as it cycles through our communities. Strengthening local businesses, creating more local jobs, and building a broader tax base. And that means a more resilient community with better services for your family. See how it all fits together? It's good for everyone. Consumers, businesses, and your local economy. Let's look at an example of how big an impact the shift could have in communities like yours. In Kent County, Michigan, which is a bit bigger than Surrey in the Lower Mainland, they studied 3 retail areas to see what would happen when people shifted from non-local to local retailers. By shifting to local grocery stores, 17% more of what was spent would stay in the local economy. For local restaurants, that increase would be 52%. And 77% when it came to local pharmacies. Then, from those results, they were able to say, okay, what if consumers shifted 10% of their spending in all retail areas? That would result in 1,600 more local jobs, $53 million more in local wages, and an additional $137 million staying in the community. Who wouldn't want those benefits? And it's all done by you and me, with just a simple change in our spending habits. Want to know how this all got started? It's simple. The inspiration for the 10% shift was, well, you and people just like you. It came about after CUPE BC President Barry O'Neill spent a good part of 2010 visiting communities around the province, talking with working families, chambers of commerce, local leaders, and small business owners. Their stories were unique, but carried a central theme. The strong local economies enjoyed for generations have been eroded by up and down resource markets, national and international recessions, trade deals that reduce their independence, and the gradual shrinking of local manufacturing and retail businesses. People want to rebuild, to strengthen their local economies, and in a way that puts more control in their hands. And that's what the 10% shift is all about. Because with just a small shift in spending habits, communities can regain that control. If enough of us shift just 10% of our household spending to local first, communities can open the door to small businesses that start up and stay, to more local jobs that pay a fair wage, and to a stronger local economy that's more resilient and sustainable. And the 10% Shift campaign is growing and reaching more people every day. We hope you'll join with us. Because think back to the loonie we saw cycling through your community. The power of spending even a single dollar more on local businesses and local services can make a big difference if we all make the shift. Want to find out more about how the 10% shift works, the huge impact it can have, and how you can be part of it? Check us out online at 10percentshift.ca.